Have you ever been crying and felt embarrassed by your own strength? There's a moment, maybe you've lived it, where your body betrays you. You're in the gym or in your car, in the shower, or standing in your kitchen between tasks, and suddenly, the weight and the busyness of everything in your life makes your eyes burn, your throat tightens, and the tears come. And often, our first instinct is to apologize for it, to hide it, to swallow it and get it together. But what if that moment wasn't weakness at all? What if that moment was your body saying, I'm with you, I'm adapting, I'm growing? What if softness, the tears, the tenderness, the honesty, is actually the strongest thing about you? Today we're talking about the power of softness, why vulnerability is not the opposite of strength, but rather the source of it. Welcome to episode 41 of Making Male Health in the Hustle. This podcast is a place where motherhood meets muscle, ambition meets exhaustion, and figuring out how to prioritize my health journey into the insanely beautiful chaos of a busy life is what I talk about. Some days it'll look messy and other days flawless. But no matter what kind of day I'm having, I can assure you I will tell the truth and do my best to give you some good ideas and insight to help you prioritize your own journey. So let's talk about softness. Softness is definitely not the opposite of strength. It's a form of strength. Emotional openness, tears, tenderness, self-awareness, these are not liabilities. They are tools. Tools that make you more resilient, more connected, and more capable of navigating the chaos of life. And research backs this up. Studies on authenticity show it increases well-being and sustainable confidence. Neuroscience shows that vulnerability activates the same neural circuits as physical pain, which is why it feels risky. But when it's met with safety, the brain rewires towards resilience. Emotional intelligence research shows that softness helps us adapt and connect and make better decisions under pressure. So that's why we're talking about softness today, because it's a strategy. It's about resilience, and it's about power. So let's start with a moment that many of us know. Crying in the gym, crying in the car, crying in the middle of a busy day. Crying is not collapse. It's not quitting, and it's not a sign that you're failing. Crying is a physiological release, and I've done a lot of crying in my life. From pain to happiness, from my heart being touched by others. And if anyone that you ask who really knows me were forced to give a word to describe me, I guarantee you 90% of the time it would be strong. So what if softness isn't weakness at all? What if strength comes from being soft? What if softness is actually what strength looks like when it's sustainable? See, tears often show up when we're pushing our limits, physically or emotionally, either one. Tears are like a pressure valve, not a stop sign. And authenticity research tells us that emotional expression is a sign of alignment, of being connected to what's really inside of you. Vulnerability can transform difficult experiences into personal health resources, which means that your emotional openness is literally part of how your body adapts and grows. So instead of thinking to yourself, why am I crying? What is wrong with me? Reframe it. Something in me is shifting, stretching, or maybe healing. And I'll tell you, I've had those moments a lot. Moments when I'm in the middle of a lift where weight was not the problem, life was. Moments midlife where the tears came not because I was weak, but because I was growing or changing or adjusting. Moments when the things in life just hit me hard. And here come the waterworks. My body was doing exactly what it needed to do to move me forward, and I will never apologize for crying. Tears get released, but tears are strength in motion. Softness isn't about being passive or fragile, nor is it about letting things slide. It is a strategic skill. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you only value strength that looks controlled, quiet, and productive, you may be abandoning yourself in the moments that you need most. People who can identify, feel, and express their emotions adapt better. They connect better. They make better decisions under pressure. For all my fellow book nerds in the mix, leadership studies show that vulnerability is increasingly recognized as strength. It builds trust, psychological safety, and resilience in the workforce. Inspiration doesn't come from barking orders. Inspiration comes from softness, from putting your heart out there in the mix. Almost every single episode I talk about Coach Val. I talk about her a lot in my episodes. And if you've never experienced her power in a workshop, you should. She commands a room and greatly inspires. She knows so much about the way to become healthier, and she is the best at giving advice and one-liners when she speaks that you can take with you. And as much as I love knowledge and learning, that is not what makes me love her. It's her heart. Her softness is what makes her most powerful in my eyes. Not everyone understands that softness is power, and they hide it. They hide the tears, they hide the feelings, they hide their hearts. And here's the neuroscience from the science nerd. When you allow yourself to feel instead of suppressing, you reduce internal resistance. Your brain shifts out of threat mode and into better emotional regulation. That shift makes it easier to stay consistent with your healthy habits, to communicate more clearly with others, to pause before reacting, and to avoid burnout. Softness is what helps you stay human in the hustle. It's the antidote to hustle culture numbness, and that's the state where you're doing everything but you're feeling nothing. Softness is how you stay connected to yourself when you're moving through this world, and we need to stay connected to ourselves. You can hold strength and tenderness. They are not competing identities. Strength and tenderness are complementary. Resilience research shows that reframing vulnerability as a resource helps people to transform difficult experiences into growth. Emotional flexibility, and that's the ability to feel deeply and still move forward, is one of the strongest predictors of long-term resilience. You can be disciplined and gentle, powerful and emotional, structured and intuitive. Softness helps you keep connected to your why, and strength helps you execute the how. And if you're anything like me, a mom, a student, a lifter, and a woman navigating the chaos of life, you already live this. You already know what it means to be strong and tender at the same time. I've learned that tenderness towards myself is what makes my strength sustainable. It's what keeps me from burning out. It's what keeps me from getting disconnected from my purpose and from other people. It's what keeps me human. Softness is not the opposite of strength. It's the foundation of it. You need some power tools? Let's go with some soft ones. Reflection, connection, and compassion are the tools that turn softness into power. So when it comes to reflection, journaling or pausing to check in with yourself builds self-awareness. Neuroscience shows that naming your internal state increases your emotional regulation and your resilience. Reflection is how you stay honest with yourself. When it comes to connection, authenticity deepens relationships and improves mental health. Softness invites support instead of isolation. When vulnerability is met with safety, your brain rewires itself towards trust and connection. And what about compassion? Self-compassion reduces shame and increases motivation, especially on your health journey. Softness towards yourself makes consistency possible in the busy. Compassion is not letting yourself off the hook. It's giving yourself the conditions to keep going. These tools are not fluffy. They are not optional. They're not nice to have. They are the practices that make strength sustainable in your life and in your health journey. You are not strong because you hide your softness. You're not strong because you push through everything without feeling. You're not strong because you never break. You're strong because you allow yourself to feel. You're strong because you allow your body the room that it needs to speak. You're strong because you let your heart stay open no matter how many times it's been broken. You are strong because you choose tenderness in a world that rewards numbness. You're not strong despite your softness. You're strong because of it. And the next time softness shows up in your body, instead of apologizing for it, try thanking it. Until next time, onward and upward, my friends.